First, they played in what we call a 2-beat groove. The bass is playing on 1 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. What fast? Hold on, so we're gonna do it faster. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Okay, that's the bass. Now the drums would play the bass drum on 1 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. And then loosely the snare drum on 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And every now and then they mess around with some cymbals and do a little something colorful. What about the guitar? The guitar will play on all 4 beats. Now the piano would play stride. So they covered all the beats with the left hand. Now you notice we have everybody playing on all the beats except the bass. It's not on 2 and 4. And then the piano will start to fill in. Okay? This is the way that almost every rhythm section played at that time. And this is not what Basie was looking for. To create the all-American sound, Joe Jones, the drummer, began to play all 4 beats and rhythmic variations on the sock cymbal. Let's see what that sounds like. Can you hear the difference in the music? Can y'all hear the difference? Okay, now let's see. The guitar is still strumming on every beat. In Basie's orchestra was the great Freddie Green. What about the piano? Well, the piano began to not play on all 4 beats with the left hand and just play little cute figures up at the top. Now here was the final change. Walter Page began walking the bass on all 4 beats and accenting every 8 beats. Let's see how that sounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2. That's Kansas City swing. Rhythm section. Now, Basie's radio broadcast from the Reno Club caught the attention of musicians and listeners across the country. Everybody was excited. Hey, this is something new. It's different. Great musicians from all over the country began to hear this and say, man, I've got to make it to Kansas City to play with them. Amongst them was the great Lester Young. He came to Kansas City. Also, there were record producers, John Hammond. I got to figure out how to get to Kansas City and get Count Basie on record. People need to hear this music. Soon, Basie built his orchestra up with musicians from all over the country. And they hit the road together as a band. But they continued in the Blue Devil tradition of traveling and behaving like a family. And the musicians loved to play with Basie. First, because of the swing and rhythm section. Second, because Basie was relaxed. His playing was relaxed and his way of leading the band was relaxed. He knew that if you just got out of the way and gave a little structure, the cats in the band would make it happen. Now, we're going to learn something about the way they did arrangements. They did something that's called a head arrangement. Let me hear y'all. Head arrangement. Fats Waller. Fats Waller. The Blues. The Blue Devils. Okay, here's a head arrangement. You get the rhythm section playing. They get a groove going. Yeah, they get a groove going. All of a sudden, somebody in one of the sections hears a little phrase and says, hey, let's play this little phrase. I think this is good. Then if the other musicians don't shake it off and they say, yeah, that's pretty good, they start playing. Let's see a trumpet section come up with a little something. Okay, then they start to harmonize it. they're going to harmonize it eventually. Now, you hear how it sounds with the harmony? Now you have another section that says, hey, we're not going to be outdone by them. We hear something too. The saxophones come and they come with a phrase that answers. So you see the saxophones playing and the trumpets playing. It's like having a conversation. Now the trombones are not going to be left out. They're going to get in there. See, they don't even want to stop. Now, I happen to know a member of that Count Basie Orchestra when I was in high school. He was like a mentor to me. And he told me that one night in Kansas City, they started to make up a head arrangement, a riff like this. And they started at 3 o'clock in the morning, 3:30, riffing. And the dancers in the club were determined that they were going to outdance the band. And they played that one riff for the next 4 hours. I said, who won? He said, I'm here to tell it, ain't I? The musicians beat the dancers. Okay, now we're going to put this together and make a head arrangement of the entire band. But before we do that, we're going to talk about one other aspect of playing, and that is soloing. Who can tell me what a solo is? What is it? Tell me. One instrument stands up, in this case, not exactly by itself, with the rhythm section. Basie's band had great soloists. It became famous for 2 tenor saxophone soloists. One was Lester Young. I told you a little earlier he came to Kansas City expressly to play with Basie. And the other was Herschel Evans. Herschel played in a gruff style, and Lester played in a very smooth, liquid, poetic style. Lester Young wore a pork pie hat, and he held the saxophone out to the side. We're going to hear now, turn our 2 tenor saxophonists loose. Victor Goins is going to be Lester Young, and Mr. Walter Blanding is going to be Herschel Evans. Let's just see how they do on this blues we were just playing. We'll play a little faster, then we'll break it back down. Just the saxophone now. Sure. A 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3. Lester Young. Okay. Walter Blanding, Victor Goins. Now, we're going to show you all how a head arrangement is done because we're going to do one right now. We're going to start with the rhythm section playing one chorus. The trumpet section is going to play a riff. There's going to be a trumpet solo with sax backgrounds. The saxophone section is going to play a riff. And Walter is going to solo, and then Victor is going to jump up in there in anger. And the two of them are going to have an extended battle. And then the trombone section is going to play a riff with a piano solo. And then there's going to be a trombone solo. And there's going to be a big, loud shout chorus at the end with all of us playing raucous and Victor playing something loud on the top on the clarinet. Let's see if we remember all that and put together a spontaneous head arrangement. Elliot Mason, Victor Goins, Walter Blanding. Now you see how Basie knew how to build a band up. This style became famous. He swept through the United States during the Depression, and people loved Basie's band. They loved to dance to the band. Before we conclude, I'm just going to tell you a thing about Basie's real genius. Basie understood, hey, we have the band, and they can holler and scream and shout, and people love this, and dancers love it. But the foundation of the band has got to be soft and spare and elegant, because when you're soft and spare and elegant, people want to listen to you. Like if I stand up here hollering and screaming and shouting at you, you're not going to want to hear what I say. So let's listen to an example of Count Basie's playing. And listen to how, even though he came up playing the stride school with all of the fast notes, this is an example of how beautiful and elegant Basie's playing was. That just makes you happy. Ooh. Dan Nimmer on the piano. And that was the classic Count Basie ending. Count Basie, boom, it's over.